بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أفضل الجهاد من قال كلمة حق عند سلطان جائر. The most virtuous of jihad, من قال كلمة حق, who says a true speech, a true word in front of an oppressive ruler. Allama Khattabi rahmatullah alayhi explains why to say a true word in front of an oppressive ruler. Because in opposition to an ordinary enemy, one of two scenarios are there. There is hope of your life being saved and you overpowering the enemy, and there is fear of loss of life and property of yours. Whereas, in front of those oppressive rulers of that time, there is no question of hope of freedom, because their whole rulership was based on tyranny and oppression. Some ulama have said that Afdalul Jihad in front of an oppressive ruler, because although he might be a king, but under his control is a military, the police force, everything is at his disposal. So you are not basically only telling him per se. So you are not basically protecting him, or you are saying it to all. On the other hand, for instance, if he reforms with your words, and if he changes and transforms, then the benefit is also tremendous, because then his government will change, his police force will change, his military will change. So in terms of outward effect, it is not confined and restricted to him, but to many. And if you look at history, and we study history, we see how the rulers of the past were so oppressive. At the same time, if a change took place, how effective, because generally it is the normal rule and norm and custom that people follow their leadership, whatever they bring in their lives. So if there is transformation, it is not confined and restricted to one individual, but it has a domino effect on the citizens and the civilians of that area. So therefore this is referred to Afdalul Jihad. Everybody is totally aware of the oppression of Hajjaj bin Yusuf. But if you look, Allah Ta'ala has created ulama and righteous and pious in every generation. And everybody knew that even if you speak against him, your death is certain. Abdullah ibn Zubayr radiallahu ta'ala, an illustrious Sahabi of Nabi Karim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Then eventually he was surrounded in Makkah al-Mukarramah in the Kaaba, and they were shooting with catapults from outside, and most of his men were defeated, and by the end he was left with a few small number that were on his side. And then he meets his mother for the last time, Asma radiallahu ta'ala anha. So Asma, when she's making mu'anaka with him, she's embracing for the last time, she finds he's got an armor under his kurta. So she asked him that, what is this armor about? So he mentioned, now look at the mothers of that time. He mentioned that Hajjaj has promised that when he gets hold of my body, he will mutilate it, meaning cutting my ears off, cutting my nose off, debowling me, removing my intestines, etc. And history showed that he used to do these things. So then the mother told him, look at the mother of that time, that on one side you are desirous of jihad, and you did whatever you could, and the time is drawing near. Ashatul madbuha la yu'limuha as-salakh, that a sheep that is about to be sent to the slaughter place is not worried about after it dies how they're going to rip its skin off, but it's dead, and what they're going to do with the inside, and how they're going to fry its meat, etc. It doesn't worry about that. So why are you worried? So she insisted that he remove his armor and go. And then he fought right till the end, and he had two swords in his hand. Then eventually from a distance they threw a rock that he could not keep himself away from because he was confronted with enemies from every side. Then he fell. And then with two swords he fell. And eventually he died in that condition. But then too he said poetry before that, and he sent a message to his mother, that Asma, oh my mother, that when you get information that I have been killed, then don't cry. But I can assure you that I have never left my position, nor did I surrender, and nor did I let your name down in any form. I stood right till the end. So those people knew in that time, the leaders were so oppressive, if they caught you, that was the end of you. So to say a word in front of them requires tremendous courage. And at the same time, if they can transform with your word, also its benefit is tremendous.